Please read the disclaimer. Holy smokies, it ain't no jokes, XRP holders. We got some news that had the markets fearful and selling off. XRP Bitcoin sold off, but now have recovered a little bit. What does this mean going forward? And how can we prepare for this? Also, a very interesting partnership between Ripple and another company. You're going to want to watch all the way to the end of the video to get all the latest and the greatest crypto news. We have something with the US and China, lots to cover. So beautiful smile. Even though we're down days, up days, we give those beautiful smiles. Smash that like button. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. We've been lately. Yes, you. I'm asking you. You're sitting on your phone. I know you. Most of you watch on your phone. That's how I know. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.57, down minus 2% on the day. But as you can see, it dropped all the way down to 150. And this all started around 3 p.m. my time, a little bit before the stock market started trading. And then since then, we've had just 4 or 5 hours of just downward movement. And the market actually continued its sell-off when we had the news, which we'll get to in just a second. Bitcoin is currently at 73,800, but it dropped all the way to 72,200. Ethereum almost dropped under 2,000, but saw 2,077 and has popped up on that. And the total crypto market is down 2.5%, but it was down more and it has risen about 2.3. It was a little bit higher a few minutes ago, about 3%, now coming back a little bit. The market continues to be volatile. Any sort of news that comes out is rocking everything. We are seeing the stock market also pull back today with the NASDAQ down minus 2.2%. That's a lot for the NASDAQ. S&P 500, 0.75%, so holding a little bit better. Tech stocks are getting destroyed. Many tech stocks are down big time. AMD down 17%, Palantir down 14%, Micron 12%, Broadcom 8%. So big numbers here across the board on technology. There's some fear regarding AI and things like that. And so that's what's happening right now. And you can see the VIX, the fear indicator that we talk about many times on the channel. I told you anything above 20 is considered pretty fearful. And so now it crossed over 20 today. It's up 15.5%. And it will be very interesting to see how this plays out. By the way, the news was that the nuclear talks between the US and Iran scheduled for Friday have reportedly been canceled, and oil price also surging to $65 per barrel on the news. We are seeing silver kind of sell off as well. So it went up all the way to 91, dropped all the way down to 83, and now has recovered a smidge, not too much. And gold also sold off. So it's interesting, because the theory is that if gold is supposed to be the flight of liquidity, right? If there's some geopolitical stress or things that might make people freak out a little bit, and yet gold dropped as well. So it seems it was just an algo sell-off and everything was getting sold off. And so that's basically what happened there. There was also news on a phone call between Trump and President Xi, and it says President Trump said they have a very good relationship. Trump says they discussed China buying oil from the US and lifting soybean purchases to 20 million metric tons. Let's see what he said here. He says, I have just completed an excellent telephone conversation with President Xi of China. It was long and thorough call where many important subjects were discussed, including trade, military, the April trip that I will be making to China, which I very much look forward to, Taiwan, the situation between Russia and Ukraine, the current situation with Iran, the purchase of oil and gas by China from the United States, and the consideration by China of the purchase of additional agriculture products, including lifting the soybean count to 20 million tons for the current season. They have committed to 25 million tons for next season. Airplane engine deliveries and numerous other subjects, all very positive. The relationship with China and his personal relationship with President Xi is extremely good one, and they both realize how important it is to keep it that way. He believes there will be many positive results achieved over the next 3 years of his presidency with President Xi and the people of China. So this is a very interesting situation right now with China. Trump, he likes to play it both ways. He, on the one hand, he'll say, oh, we have great conversation. And on the other hand, he says, oh, I can't let China take control of crypto. I can't let this happen. I can't let them do that, right? That's how you play the politics. But it's always interesting to hear or see the tweets when you hear this kind of situation. And of course, for the world, it's better if world leaders are getting along. There's no conflict. Everything is okay. That's way better for markets. It's way better for investors. It's way better for people in general. And I am for that. I am for, getting along and having peace and not having situations, but it is what it is. It's what we live with. And sometimes, you have to take that into consideration. So we'll see how that plays out. Now we got this clip from Treasury Secretary Bessent defending President Trump's Bitcoin reserve while testifying in Congress. This is the asset seizure that 1 billion Bitcoin that was seized, 500 million was retained, and that 500 billion has become over $15 billion. Right? So, of course, when you're looking at it like that, it makes sense that was a good decision. If we go back and we look at what Germany was doing when they went and sold all their assets and they had confiscated Bitcoin, and if you remember that, a lot of people don't remember that time already. Everybody was freaking out about what Germany was doing, and it was pulling back the market and was the hottest thing. And this is just a reminder that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. But it's also a reminder that things change very, very fast. Things flip. You can 1 minute be at war, and the next minute you're at peace. And 1 minute the market could be tanking, and the next minute the market could be going up. This is just how life is, and that's what life has taught me over the past few years. That's why I tell you, I always have the monkey on my shoulder, right? And I think it's made me a better investor from that point, that I'm always careful, and I always know that there can always be a situation, and I have to, take into consideration that you go to the bathroom and you come back and something, it's I don't know, 8:30, 3:30, right? It's not 3:30 in the US, or and sorry, 1:30 in the US, and suddenly the markets sell off, right? I don't know. That just happened just 20 minutes ago, right? That and so you have to take into consideration that things like that is a possibility. Okay. Now, something very interesting here from Ripple. I was kind of surprised when I saw this. It says Hyperliquid meet Ripple Prime. You remember Ripple Prime was the Hidden Road, I think was their name. I always forget the exact name. We are now enabling institutions to access on-chain derivatives liquidity through Hyperliquid X in a streamlined and secure way. Customers can also efficiently cross-margin crypto with all asset classes supported by our Prime brokerage platform. Institutions, welcome to the on-chain economy. Hopefully, all of this will be bridged through XRPL. So potentially, this could be good for XRP. And it will be very interesting to see how much traffic actually goes through these rails, right? That's going to be the make it or break it in the end for XRP, because that's why many people invest in XRP, is the potential of the huge amounts of traffic that could flow on XRPL. And so it will be very interesting to see what will happen. Will institutions want to use Hyperliquid? And so that's another question that we need to ask ourselves as well. It will be very, very interesting. So if we zoom out a little bit and look where we are from a price action point of view, right? So right now, Bitcoin dumping below 73,000 is the lowest since November of 2024. So we're back basically Bitcoin-wise, right, to where the asset was just after Trump won the election. Yes, I'm going to say that again. Asset, price-wise, right? Bitcoin is where it was when Trump won the election, right? Around that time, of course, it was November 6th, I think. So Bitcoin was a little bit lower, it was around 70,000. Again, remember, we didn't know if Trump was going to win or not then on November 6th. I was a little bit lower, it was 67,000, around basically around the same value that we're seeing right now. And yet the market, the value right now that people think to give to Bitcoin is the same value that they gave it when we were running up, when there's like, oh my God, Trump is going to be president. This is going to be so bullish for the crypto market, right? Do you remember those times? Like people were going bananas and altcoins were going crazy, and it was just an amazing time to be in the crypto market, right? And so right now the market is depressed, but we're at the same value that we were back then. And this is all a reminder again about momentum, about what's happening. If I just look at XRP, where was XRP? So XRP was a lot lower around November 10th. XRP was still around 50 cents. Remember, XRP really didn't run after the November 6th election. It kind of took it a little bit, right? It popped up, it went from 50 to 53, but it only started really rallying about November 10th when XRP was at 50 cents. So Bitcoin is at the level it was back then, and XRP is 3 times that level. So XRP is still doing very, very good if you just take that into consideration, right? Go back to that November where Bitcoin now has dropped down to that level. Ethereum is a little bit different because Ethereum had that pullback, and it was around 1800 back in November 10th. So it's a little bit better. It rallied, and then it pulled back, and then it rallied again, and then it pulled back, and then it rallied again, and now it's pulling back again. It seems this is the nature of Ethereum right now. And even Solana is back under 100, right? So this is the lowest that it's been since January. But where was it around November 10th? It was around 46. So it's actually up 100% since then. So it's a 2x. XRP is up a 3x since then. So again, it's a lot about perspective and a lot about where the market was and where the market is going. And that's very, very important to remember. Has the market really changed from an outlook of Trump, like the effect of Trump? Has the effects gone away? That could be, right? That could be. Of course, the market got a little bit broken on October 10th, and a lot of that is happening, but many people have gone back and analyzed and have seen that the 120, wherever it was there, 126, there were signals, right, when we look back, that this should have been the top. Of course, that was the date, right, that everybody was talking about, the October 6th date, that was supposed to be the height, right, of the movement, and it ended up being so far the high note, right? So it was funny when I made the video on October 6th, I was like, this would be very interesting if this is actually the peak. It would be kind of sad, but it would also be very, very interesting. So far, it's kind of a premonition that predicted itself, where that was actually the high for now. And it's, but again, has much changed crypto-wise? You could say the Clarity Act that hasn't passed yet, but we did have the Genius Act that passed. So there has been forward for the market. We do have the Bitcoin stockpile that we did not have previously. All the SEC cases were removed. Ripple's SEC case was, the appeal was removed. So that's why maybe XRP is still 3x to where it was back in November. And now, Bitcoin is getting back to that level. It will be very interesting to see, does water kind of level out a little bit? Does the market get some relief? Does it get some breathing room? It's not been easy over the past week or so, but I know, because from my experience, that there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be moments when you think, oh, it's terrible, it's over, I'm done with it, and then the next week you're back on the wagon, right? You have highs and lows, and that's what's hard in the crypto market, in investing in general, because you have the highs and lows. You're going to have 1 week that you're doing amazing, and then the next week you're doing terrible. You're going to have some months that the market just keeps going up, and you're going to have some months that the market keeps selling off. And that's the hard part, right? I've said this before. This, my opinion, is that it's 80% mental, right? How much the heart can handle. The brain knows what the brain knows, and the brain knows what the brain needs to do. The problem is that the heart many times makes you make decisions that you shouldn't, right? You freak out or you get too greedy, and then you make mistakes. But the head might be telling you, no, this time do it like this, but your heart tells you something different. And furthermore, um, 19% is technical, right? So, news, technical analysis, knowing what's happening, seeing what happened in the past, predicting what's going to happen in the future, and 1% luck, right? Sometimes you go to the bathroom, you come back and it's down. Sometimes you go away, you come back, there was some big news. Iran meeting canceled. You don't know some days. So sometimes it's just luck. Okay. And so that's very, very important to remember. And don't, the elation that you get is 4 times smaller. So the depression you get from when something's going down is 4 times larger than the elation you get when it's going up. This is clinical studies that have been done, right? And so you'll notice, right, when it's going up, you always think, oh, maybe it will go up more, right? I'm only up 5K. That's nothing, right? I want a lot more. But when it's down 5K, you're like, oh my God, 5K, that's a month's rent or a month's salary or half a month's salary, depending how much you're making. Hopefully you're making a lot more than that. But it's a lot harder because you think of, oh my God, what could have I bought with that money that I just lost? So it's an interesting situation, and it takes time. It takes practice. It takes sometimes years of trial and error. And hopefully you don't fall on your face while doing that, and you're still here with me going forward, years to come. Hopefully we're talking in 2030, 2035, and the crypto market is still cooking and is still doing good. And I'm investing in those kind of time frames with my long-term positions. What happens day to day? Again, if I look back at where XRP position was November, so it's about a year ago, it was a lot worse. It's a lot better now. But if I look back where it was when it was at 3, yes, it's 50% down. But if I look back when it was in November, it's doing a lot better. So again, it's all about perspective. It's all about the timing. It's all about how you look at it and the time frames and your mental, right? It's about that. And many people can't handle it, especially younger people, younger generation. You've never experienced anything like that. I had the same problems, okay? But the more I mature, the more I learn, the more I experience, I find it easier and easier. Okay. And you need to get a Zbang, and then you understand. Okay. Don't forget to check out the links in the description down below. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond. And don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.